Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about the Java expression evaluation and the way that it actually handles mathematical equations or mathematical formulas. And typically it's going to run that rule we learned in school, and I do believe this is kind of a standard. I'm not too sure though. There might be different ways that your teacher had shown you to do it. The order of operations, I'm pretty sure it's, I think you guys all know this. I might be assuming here, but I'll just tell you, it's going to start off with the brackets or anything in parentheses or the brackets here. Then it's going to go into exponents. I'm not really showing you the exponent part of it yet in this video, but just know that. Then it goes to the division and the multiplication, and they'll do those first as they occur from left to right. Make sure they're out of the way. Then it moves on to the addition and the subtraction, and as they occur from left to right. So really quickly, if we do something here, we'll just say result. We'll just say int result. And I just want to show you really quick what this double results. I just want to show you what I mean by this. And there's a couple things you can do if you're kind of, if you struggle with math a bit, if you know your formulas, you're just not too sure what's going down. There's a couple things that you can actually do. So one is, if you got a big formula with you, it's we got these numbers, and I'm just gonna plug numbers in right away. I'm not gonna actually resolve or get inputs at this point. Once we go further, we will make programs that have formulas in them, and we can definitely take that on as a project or whatever. But I just kind of want to show you the order of operations only at this point. So say if we know you got 5 and you got to multiply that by 4 first, right? It has to happen. And then you have to add it by 20, and then at that time you multiply it again by 2, and once you're done you divide the whole thing by 5. So that in itself, if we go here, we're going to do this one first, but we said we wanted to take this and then we had to divide it by 20 or add 20 to this value. So now it's kind of not actually going to give us the same result here, and I'll show you what I mean by this. If we had to work this out as a linear line like that, which the way that I explained it to you, I mean, when you get a formula, you have a process that you're going to go through, and you know what that formula takes in order to process it properly, right? So I'll show you the difference here, and I'm pretty sure I can remake what I said. We wanted to do this first. We wanted to get our value here, so that should be 20, right? And then we wanted to add 20, so that should give us 40. And then we wanted to multiply that 40 by 2, get ourselves up to 80. And then we wanted to divide the whole thing by 5, right? So we look at all these brackets that are popping in here. Okay, so now this is actually taking the most inner bracket, which would be this guy here. And then it's going to actually go and add 20 to it. And then it's going to take this guy here and it's going to multiply it by 2. And then it's going to divide it all by 5. So this one here, if we didn't really kind of go through the logic that we were planning, look what would have happened here. So you kind of want to be on the ball when it comes down to your formulas and the logic in which the formula is constructed. Now if you do have issue with this, and this kind of gets kind of convoluted and it's hard to read, and you might miss that bracket there, or you missed out on a bracket or something. You can also do it in a more linear way. So we said we wanted to multiply this first, then once we got this answer we wanted to add 20 to it, so that's this guy here, and then we wanted to multiply it by 2, so we're going to put our bracket back in here and multiply it all by 2. So I'll show you really quickly what I mean by this. So what you can do is you take your result, right, and don't be afraid to actually just separate it out and do your math the way, you know, here's the first one that we want to do. And if you need to, this is fine. I mean, if you're getting the proper result, that's better than getting the wrong result, right? Okay, so that's just crucial to know. So we'll take this, now we got that number, we're storing it into the result, right? So now we can put this result back here, take it, so that's technically our 20, and now we got to add 20 to it, you know, plus 20. That's fine. We don't even need the brackets at this point. We can take all this away because we're just going to do it line by line, right? So now our result's going to get stored same as this one would right here, you know, and then we can come down. And I mean, I don't know, you might get a little bit of, you know, you didn't do it on one line, and there was a lot of like, I guess, I don't really know what to say, like maybe the cool culture when it came down to actually doing it in an efficient way. You know, it's like, oh, you couldn't do it on one line, or my code was only you know, 4 lines of code, and you know, yours came out to 1, 2, 3, 4 extra code because, but I mean, if your result was the same at the end of the day, then hey, by all means, man, do what needs to be done. Or I don't mean to say man, just kind of the way I talk, person, whatever you wish. So, and then we'll divide this by 5, right? So now there's one little problem that's gonna happen. Oh no, this is fine. I'm gonna save this value is already stored up here, but we reinitialize, or we like reset that by storing this. So it will actually and should actually come back out with the exact same result. We should get like a wrong result here because that's we didn't do it right. So we'll just type here wrong, the proper one, and then should be the same. And if I did it wrong, then I mean that's a bummer, but I can relook at my logic, right? So again, if you need to, don't be afraid to like separate it out. It's, again, see, we're, you know, it's still the same thing. We're still getting the actual logic down, and I wouldn't say that you have to be, you know, the math hero and has to be on the same line. I've done some mathematics, like trying to find the leap year and stuff, and everybody was doing it line by line, and you know, you wanted to get it on one line, but there can be some little tricks that you gotta, you know, you're throwing at the equation. It makes you think a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, dude, if you can do it, results are results, and that's plain and simple. Is if you're getting wrong results, you're probably not going to get the job. If you're getting the right results, that's all that matters at the end of the day. If it takes 4 more lines of code, it doesn't take that much longer to run this, to run these steps, as it does to run this full step. I mean, microscopically, sure, but you're not going to notice it. I wouldn't think. I mean, yeah, there is those super techies that are like, you know, man, this is going to run at like 0.135 milliseconds, and this is going to definitely run at like 0.5 milliseconds, so your code's just trash, bro. It's like, no, I don't really care as long as this came out to what this one was supposed to be. That's kind of all that matters to me. You know, like Google culture or something, if you're programming with Google, or they might, I don't even know, I would only be assuming, but they're probably some pretty smart mofos up there, so they'll all be like, you can write it on one line. I would suspect. I might be just, you know, talking out my butt, but either way, if you can get the job done this way, then by all means do it. And this is just saying, like, exactly here we took, you know, 4 times 5, that's going to be 20, we pop her in there. And we know that this was 20, we added 20 to it. It's 20 here. When we bring it down here, it's still 20. So we add 20 to it, it gets 20. We save that value now as 40. Okay, so this is, if we do these two together, that's 40. Now if we multiply 40 by 2, This is now 40 here. When we bring it down to this line, it's still 40. We multiply it by 2, we get the results down here. You know, and then once we did all this, we still wanted to divide it by 5, right? So we got our 80 here, pop it in there, divide it by 5, and we get our 16. So do not be afraid to do what it takes to get the results that are required, okay? Just remember, it does work this way if you are gonna, you know, pop it all in one line and you want to do it. And same thing goes, I mean, if you're doing this, you still need to know the order in which the operations were completed, right? Because even looking at your own little formulas that you're going to create, and then maybe you can from here, you can make this equation happen more. You know, I've seen that too, where you can, you know, I know this, so I can put this here, and then, you know, you're not going to use result, but now you know this one's here, and then we're going to add 20 to it, so you can kind of work yourself through it, and whatever way that you get to that, if it's this way, if it's this way, all means as long as the results are correct. All right, so that's it for this video. Just be aware of how the order of operations work, and just do what you can to make sure that your results are proper. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section below. Sorry if anybody at Google hates me for that one, but hey, I don't know. Whatever. If you have any future ideas for future videos, and let me know and put them in the comment section. Please subscribe. Hopefully I can help you out, or I can help you learn some programming, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.